name itself evokes vivid thought imaginary. An empire, a republic, and seemingly endless history. But how did it all begin? Before Rome could become the legendary city and begin that it is today, it had to start somewhere. The Roman Empire extended to most regions of Europe and South Asia. However, the interest of the Romans in architecture is still alive until now, as they were the first to develop reinforced concrete. Can you imagine that? That's really insane. And were particularly interested in theaters, public spaces, and of course, temples and sculpture inspired by the Greeks in all parts of the empire, especially the Mediterranean basin, specifically the Levant.
هون نحنا هون لوين بدنا نروح يا قلبي يا مشبك بحجارة بعلبك عالدهر عسنين العمر.
It all started from about 3000 BC, like about 4000 years ago, where our friends the Phoenicians, and no, they're not the Vikings. The Vikings came from Scandinavia. Anyway, they decided to build the Baalbak temple here in East Lebanon, exactly in Bacchus' highest point for around 1150 meters above the sea level. The history books didn't exactly mention who's the architect behind one of the most enormous, grandest religious building in the entire history of the Roman Empire. What it did mention that the Baalbak temple was built under the reign of Roman Emperor Lucius Septimus Severus. The building of the temple started from 27 BC and until 14 AC, so it basically took over 300 years to be built. The Phoenicians changed the city name to Heliopolis, which means the city of the sun.
Baalbak, the word itself is divided into two words, Baal and Bak, which means the Beka protector. When you enter Baalbak's temple, the first thing you will see after its very compelling structure is how huge it is. Our first stop in this journey is the Temple of Jupiter. There is a temple made for the god of the thunder, Jupiter. It consists of 6 huge columns with 22-meter height and 2.5 diameters. The temple is surrounded by an open area that contains a statue and a remaining of the old Roman word, consisting of 30 columns. Then we have the Temple of Bacchus, which is characterized by being the most preserved Roman temple and was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984. Our next stop is the Temple of Venus, originally named Astrate by Phoenicians after the goddess of love and war. Built in a horseshoe-shaped platform and made in the 3rd century, it consists of a circular shrine with a square entrance. The outer facade of the shrine is graced by 5 niches which present doves and shells, which has been taken as evidence that the shrine was dedicated to Venus.
Shrine was dedicated to Venus. A part of Baalbak's temple was destroyed in an earthquake. Baalbak, a castle rooted in the history and a masterpiece of the ancient world, and one of the most great Roman ruins, a temple which is for sure worth the visit and worth being one of the world's 7 wonders. And at the end,
يا قلبي لا تتعب قلبك بتروح كتير وتغيب كتير وبترجع عالراجب عالبك